Hello and welcome to another episode of the NAmen Podcast. My name is Andrea, and today we will be talking about the NACL, the NACLQ, and the upcoming promotion tournament. With me, I have some really cool people. So please, if you could introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Delfino or Delphi. Delphi.wave on Twitter. I have been having a good time since the last time we recorded. I'm excited to talk about this topic, even though I'm probably not the most knowledgeable on it. We're still balling.
Don't sell yourself short, Delphi. Hello, everybody. My name is Summer, or also known as Smacks. I cast a bunch of the games and I stream a bunch of the games in the NACL qualifiers. I've made appearances on the NACL and the Academy shows before that. And I also play some League of Legends as well. So that's pretty cool. And I'm happy to be here. I've heard that I'm the first repeat guest on the entire show ever. So that's pretty cool.
Yep,
Wow,
that is true.
I'm feeling like I can't live up to that. But hi everyone, I'm Hawk. I also I did not cast officially for the NASCLQs, but I'm the co-host of Salty Run Back with Grapes, if you know Grapes, and we covered some NACLQ games on our stream. And before that I did Proving Grounds and everything. I also did CBL English this spring, and we just did our last ever show for the unofficial CBL English stream. So kind of
Oh,
sad, but bittersweet. But I mean,
A nice
I'm
send
sure
off.
Riot. Yeah, I'm sure Riot has it in good hands for Split 2. So
well, well,
yeah.
well. Um, okay, so basically, what we're gonna talk about right now is, NACL is over. The NACLQs, have the results of the teams that are going to be playing in the promotion tournament. But I would like to talk a little bit about what happened this spring in NACL and NACLQ. And so what I would like to ask of everyone here, and anyone can participate, is what were your favorite storylines during this spring?
For NACL,
NACL or NACLQ, whatever you want to talk about.
probably Fear.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yep.
their serve.
Also
Yeah,
the
whoever talked first would just get to take the Cincinnati Fear one. There are so many
Yep.
layers to that one as well. Like, I don't know. Like, I'll be the first to admit I was one of the people who put them 16th out of 16.
Yeah.
A lot of their players as well, 16th out of
They
16
did
on
not
like the
forget
player
that one.
power ranking.
They
Oh,
definitely didn't forget about that, for
they
sure.
they shouldn't forget about that one.
Yeah, no,
I was absolutely wrong, and
mhm.
they proved me wrong. They proved a lot of people wrong, and I mean, top four is quite the accomplishment.
they
I'm
they
very
also
proud of
proved me wrong. So
them.
we're solidarity on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fear was awesome to watch, and especially seeing those players really just pop off. I feel like they really deserved that, and it was really great to get to see them do that. Another storyline that I really liked from the NACL itself was the Masu 150 ping to
Oh my god.
Star arc. At the beginning of the split, Masu's kind of messing up a little bit. It's like, oh guys, don't
Mhm, yeah,
worry,
yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah,
on
yeah.
150 ping, and then he comes to to LA and just starts smurfing on everybody. Like, that was so entertaining to watch as well.
Fully agree. The support swap around also helped them out a little bit, when
True.
some dropping down. Ketong really held his own though on that team.
T-Talk did
I'm
well,
Yeah.
yeah.
again surprised that Ketong doesn't have a starting spot. I think that'll hopefully officially
Change.
Hope that
change
changes.
for
Mhm.
the next split. I feel like I've been saying that every split for like 3 years now.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. This time for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as the qualifiers, I mean, mine maybe it's basic, but rock bottom coming into the second qualifier, right? Virtually mathematically eliminated from promotion relegation already. They show up as a random team, and then they just decide to get second place, refuse to elaborate, and then leave. That is kind of awesome.
Kind of giga based.
Yeah, it is, and they beat some good teams too. So.
Hmm. Yeah, there are always teams like that. They're just like ragtag
Mhm.
group
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah, yeah.
players that get together and just do some astonishingly impressive things. Rock Bottom ended up being the one. I want to give a shout out to Mirage Alliance as well, who
True.
Oh
also
yeah,
did
they
a
were
very
doing
similar
well.
thing, where they came first in their group. Again, did not play in that first qualifier and made it all the way to the quarterfinals, which is really impressive as well. Yeah, just a lot of teams like that, and I think the other cool thing about all the qualifiers in general is now that there are, 6 teams like shaved off the top, you really get to see just how many teams are just collegiate players, because that's like
Yeah.
everyone
Truly.
that doesn't want to like get signed to like an official LCS affiliate team because they have their degree to work on. You see in the NACL proper, there were even a lot of the
Mhm.
players are from collegiate. Like Keel plays on Fisher.
Peel
AOE
my
obviously.
goats.
AOE
Yeah.
obviously has a lot of collegiate players on it as well. Some directly from collegiate too, and that just bled through into the qualifiers, just being like a Maryville like training combine of sorts, where they just have like 9 players
Yeah,
playing
yeah,
on
yeah.
starting rosters. That was amazing.
Yeah, Maryville's starting roster was playing against like pieces of their substitute roster
Yeah,
in like
Yeah.
every
every game.
series. It
So
felt like.
funny. That's actually so funny.
I mean, that Maryville has so many good players. Speaking of Maryville too, if you want like an anti-storyline maybe from the qualifiers, how about Native Gaming getting the pre-tournament favorite in the
Oh.
quarterfinals twice in a row?
Oh.
It's kind of rough. It happens, you know.
I mean, yeah, the native stuff really that's
It
kind
feels
of crazy, yeah, that it
feels
happened
really
like
bad
that.
for them.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah. I feel bad for those guys. Messages gets another shot, but the rest of
Mhm,
them
Last
just
yeah.
dance.
gotta wait. But yeah, we'll see where those
Okay,
guys
I
end
have
up.
to
I'm
be like
sure.
the biased person here, but like, who had Tony Top and Iconic making a team and randomly being at the top of the qualifiers in their bingo card? Because it wasn't me. It definitely wasn't me. It's like Iconic
Yeah.
randomly changes names and like decides to make a team, and then they brand themselves dodging Tony Top. Like they have his face and his and everything on the branding, and like what is going on? Like
So
when that happened, when that was announced, I was like, wait, what is this even good? Like, first of all, I didn't expect that team to do so well. I mean, they expect them to do well in the sense that you have Iconic and Tony Top, you are going to do fine. But like the rest of the team, I didn't expect to like them so much. Like it is a team that like for me came out of nowhere, and I didn't know like Levitate and Snow, and then I ended up being
Imagine
very
not knowing
invested in
Snow
them.
too.
everyone I feel like knows Snow 2 now, but
Yeah,
there
yeah,
is
yeah,
kind
of
of a
course.
there is kind of a funny story there where like I I was on the selection committee and so was Smax, and
Mhm.
at the start of the split everyone was like this Tony Top team is like top 3 top 4 minimum, and I
Hmm.
didn't realize that Wallflower was Iconic.
Oh,
So
you didn't,
I'm like why
you didn't
why
know.
is this team so good? Like it's Tony Top and then like a mid laner that may or may not be giga washed and then 3 players I've never heard of. And then finally they're like, oh no, like Wallflower is Iconic. And I'm like, oh, it all of a
Does he
sudden
know
makes a bit
moment?
more sense.
Yeah, I remember looking through like the fandom page and seeing Wallflower's name was Ethan, and I was like,
Hmm.
Ethan, jungler, playing with Tony Top. And then
Hmm.
I did a whole bunch of digging off of that, but yeah, ended up being the player formerly known as Iconic, the player formerly known as Zound, the player formerly known as Iconic, and that was yeah. I had a very similar reaction to you, but once that all started to set in, I mean, Sudsy's been around for a while. All it really
Mhm.
took was like seeing if Levitate and Snow could hold themselves like to that standard, and they ended up being
Yeah.
pretty
Mhm.
good
Yeah.
for what that tournament was. And yeah, after that, I was not super surprised to see them all the way up. But the different rebrands and everything, those are always fun. And the
Oh
Yeah,
logo
yeah.
that
they
was
ended
so
up with
funny.
is
I'm so sad that
beautiful.
Riot's not letting them be TikTok Tony Top for promotion
No, no.
relegation. Come on, that's
It's
top
a
tier branding.
tragedy.
But
It's understandable, but
the
it's so
logo they were forced to change to is beautiful. I
yeah. Honestly, the branding of
It's
this team
beautiful. I
goes
love
so
it.
hard.
yeah,
Love
I love
Tony
that so
Top's
much.
beautiful face, just right in there in the Riot the little esports websites.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
How do you
something
feel
I didn't
about
got
it,
mentioned. So, something I didn't get mentioned, by the way. In an ACL, none of you mentioned wildcard, and I think that was a storyline that was going really, really high at the start
I
of
love
the
wildcard.
True.
NACL year. Like wildcard coming in
Yeah.
and just have Moose Hater Garen
Moose Hater
every game. Like,
Garen!
come
Moose Hater
on,
Garen,
that
Keel
was so
Nunu.
huge. Yeah,
Oh
Heal
Yeah.
my
Nunu, Heal
goodness.
Nunu. Oh my
Oh,
goodness, like,
I have a
Heal
funny
Nunu.
Keel story.
I think. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so we were just like hanging out in voice chat. It was like me, Sketch, and like Brizzy, some of our friends, and so it got to the time of night where like they're like, oh, let's sing karaoke, right, in the Discord call. So they turn on "Need You Now" by Lady Antebellum. And they're singing it. And then while this is happening, so we invite Keel to an ARAM and he joins and we're like, oh, come join the Discord. This man joins right when they're singing like 3 different keys. None of them can hold the tune, like the Discord delay. And he instantly leaves.
No.
Is this
Oh,
like
no.
the one interaction with Keel too? Like, is this ever going to be what he thinks of when he like thinks of?
No, he came back, but he was like,
Okay, that would be really tragic if Keel was like, I can't do this right now, and just like left.
no, he came back and we were like, oh, hey, Keel. He was like, are you guys done?
Oh my god.
He's like, are you guys done? Like, please be done.
Like legit, he was like, please stop. No, but he's the goat. Yeah, I love Keel.
Me too. I'm glad you brought up the Moose Hater Garen thing because I mean, realistically, if you look at how wide a reach this tournament actually got, it's way bigger than any other like tier 2 NA
Yeah.
League of Legends thing has ever been, and it is
Mhm.
exclusively because Moose Hater picked Garen so many times and beat people's asses with it. Like
Yeah,
It
people
definitely
were
has
talking
nothing to
about
do with
that.
the games being on weekends. Like, that has nothing to.
No, that has everything to do with it too, because LEC would raid Keel.
That's true,
Flame,
no,
yeah.
oh my gosh, I remember
Flame,
that.
Oh
Nunu, and
yeah, the
Avila.
raids.
It was
Yeah,
so
they raided
crazy
like every day.
because I
Yeah.
swear to God, NACL had more European fans than North American fans.
It absolutely did. And
Who
the
doesn't
thing
wanna
that
see
they
Moose Hater
remember the most
Garen?
is exactly
That's
Moose
so
Hater
true.
Garen. Like he got shout outs on like the LEC broadcast more
People
than
played
one
it
time.
in
Really?
LEC
Oh, that's
because of
awesome.
yeah.
No,
It
absolutely.
was crazy.
That's literally what happened. And I mean, he's getting, I think, buffed on the next patch, and everyone
Yep.
is like Moose Hater unleashed. Like,
Yeah.
I remember, and I think Garen Poppy got buffed, and he was like, "It's my time."
Yeah, for real.
yeah.
Well, I
Oh my
remember
god.
there was that great Forest Within tweet as well that was like, man,
yep.
like NACL is so funny.
Oh, the
Like
chicken
all
nuggets.
these players getting
McChickens.
paid real salaries, and there's just Moose Hater Garen getting paid in McChickens or whatever. Like,
Yeah, that's so
And he beats them
funny.
all.
loose paraphrasing of that one, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I think even though they ended up like falling a bit in the standings by the
Mhm.
end, that is still going to be the thing.
Probably one of the most
that
iconic things.
that makes this split memorable,
Mhm.
like
For
long
sure.
term. I'd say that probably like the Mir MVP thing is going to make it
Oh,
memorable
Oh
a
my
bit,
gosh! Don't even get me started.
and the Cloud9 both leagues winning. Those are the 3 things that I
Oh
think people
yeah,
are going to
I
really
actually
remember.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, they won't both. That's
Yeah.
so well. Good thing that you mentioned the MVP because there was a lot of discussion about that selection, right? Like a lot of discourse, but like I want to ask you here, who was your MVP? And like your MVP can be whatever you want. If it's like a player that made the league fun for you, a player that you couldn't wait to watch, a player that I don't know. Give me who was your MVP. I know Delphi has a really strong opinion about this one, so she can go first.
yeah,
Yeah,
we gotta
Delphi,
hear
go
it.
first.
Listen, Masu. Okay, listen.
That's a good answer.
This guy on Wi-Fi, right? He procures an internet or Ethernet cable, a little bit less ping. He moves to LA and becomes the best ADC in the league. I don't take criticism on this. I don't care. Okay. He becomes the best ADC in the league. He loses to Mir. Okay, it was a robbery, highway robbery, a crime against humanity. Okay, there is no way on earth that he should have lost to Mir. Okay, it's like that crime should be on the same level as like that. Anyway, crime against humanity. It was against the Geneva Convention. Okay, what they did by not giving Masu MVP violated the Geneva Convention. Okay, and I will not stutter on that one because he deserved MVP. He was playing out of his mind, especially once he got to LA. And his interviews are really cute. And he's MVP worthy. Yep.
Oh my word.
Thank you, Delphi.
That was a
I'm
really good
really glad
campaign.
we could get that rant firsthand. I feel like I feel like if there was like a rookie of the split award, Masu would have absolutely ran away with it.
1000%.
But
Mm.
MVP,
Execution.
like, I don't know.
I would not vote Masu for that award.
Okay, Summer. It's like
She's
like-
judging you so right now.
I know.
I
No,
didn't
Never
even-
react, so just
We-
letting you know.
we've had this conversation before.
Oh,
I'm,
okay.
We
I'm no
have.
stranger to this. So I'll start by saying that Masu would be in my either top 3 or top 5 of MVP, depending on the other thing, because this question to me has 2 answers. One, it would be Unforgiven if Mir is in the running. I think because Mir is in the running, Unforgiven should have been in the running too. And if Unforgiven's in the running, there's no way that Mir gets it over him. That's just my take. I think that
Yes,
they
I
should
think
have.
most people have been feeling that way. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they should have
mean-
had some consistency there because Unforgiven was undoubtedly the best player in the entire tournament, the entire split long. And if they really believe that the award is like most wins in LCS to come, then it should have been Unforgiven. I know they said that it's because he was in a major region. Mir has been in a major region as well. So I think that the selection was very inconsistent in that way. So if Mir is in the running, I think it should go to Unforgiven. If Mir is not in the running, my MVP is Perry.
Based.
That's based.
So
That's a good
pick.
based.
For what it's worth, by the way, it would be Perry, then APA, then Masu.
You know what?
That's my order.
Oh.
Summer, I'm gonna say it. I respect your opinion on that one because I really love Perry. I will
Yes.
no longer be detonating the explosive as I planted in your house. So you're safe for now.
Wow. I'm kind of boring. I actually think Mir really deserved it, and I also think there's a difference between Mir and Unforgiven because I think there's a difference between a player that's trying to revitalize their career and one that won first team All Pro in the previous split in LEC. So like I get that there's like a little bit of like ticky tackiness with it, but also not to be the guy that's like, well, if you think about most valuable, but if you think about most valuable, like. There was a time when things weren't really working for Team Liquid in like mid-split, and Mir was still carrying that team on his freaking back. So I don't know. I actually think Mir was really deserving of the award. I definitely like understand a lot of the discourse, but I think Mir deserved it. I think Masu also deserved to be in the conversation. Perry was a great option. Copy, another player that I think could have been in the conversation, and maybe not quite at the very, very end of the split, but for most of the regular season, I would have had Young in the conversation as well.
Oh, he was slaying, yeah.
Yeah, Young
yeah,
was
it was really good.
awesome. So that's my take. I do think there's a difference between Mir and Unforgiven, but like I can understand sort of the ticky tackiness. I see Mir as more of a Dokla, which like in terms of revitalizing a career.
Andrea, what were your thoughts on it?
I only prepare very silly answers to this question, so as we do because this is an NAmen. So I want to give an honorable mention to my goat Skytech because he
Love that guy.
actually made every single LoE game fun for me to watch. It's like you don't know what he's gonna pick, man. He's gonna pick
Entertainment value
Lissandra
MVP.
into Rakan.
Okay.
He's really gonna do that? Okay, I guess he's gonna do that. And then it's like he was cooking with that one, to be honest. Like, I mean, they lost that game, and I feel like that was one of the most fun things I've ever seen. And like, you know,
So your MVP is more based around like showmanship. Then
my MVP is based
Yeah.
about whatever I'm feeling right now.
Okay.
My actual choice for MVP,
Tomio.
So my actual choice for MVP is going to be someone that is not even in NACL anymore. My MVP is MNS. I'm gonna say why MNS is my MVP because he literally came into the league. He started solo killing everyone, refused to elaborate leave. It's like that guy just gave us so much fun gameplay, and then he's like, "Okay, peace out. I'm going to LCS now."
See,
Yeah.
you'd
And then
be
he won it.
right to give MNS MVP as well, because MNS has already found LCS success. So, you're actually really fulfilling the criteria with that.
maybe.
Oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemies.
But the actual reason why MNS is the MVP is because he started the Tomio Cute hashtag. Like,
That's true.
come on, that's literally the greatest thing he
okay.
ever did. That's his legacy for the NACL. He started the Tomio Cute hashtag, and we got Tomio Cute trending in the Twitch chat. We got Tomio Cute on the LCS and the NACL broadcast. We got Tomio Cute on the Path to LCS account. Everyone knows about Tomio Cute now, and we owe it to MNS. So thank you, MNS, for spreading the word of Tomio being cute.
I do have one
Wow.
kind of unexpected one for MVP. Lens, wildcard Lens.
That's a good answer.
If you because a lot of people don't think about it. When you think about wildcard, what do you think about? You think about Keel Nunu. You think about Moose Hater Garen, the Alawi, the Zach Top. But Lens was a reason he was the big reason for a lot of their wins. A lot of their wins were just him just being so disgustingly good at Jinx. He would solo carry a game. It was so insane. And obviously Moose Hater would have the moments where he would just stand at enemy tier 2 tower and emote or whatever. But Lens was very, very consistently good. I think he should have been in the conversation. But
Go ahead.
It's
go ahead.
impressive to stand out as an AD carry in a league that has Unforgiven and Lost playing super well in it.
Masu.
And Masu's playing really well too. I was getting there. You didn't have to.
No,
interject
Max,
right now,
you don't understand.
I was getting
Masu needs to be
Arrow's
at the top
playing
of
well
that
too?
list.
Exactly.
Okay. Masu can be. I don't know. He's there, I guess. Whatever.
Wow, Summer.
Yes. But yeah, I agree. I think Lens did really well. I do want to talk a
Lens was
bit
good.
more about what makes Perry the very clear MVP to me. I feel like I didn't actually explain that super well. Not that it really needs a lot of explanation, but the fact that this team, Cincinnati Fear, made it all the way to top 4, I think there were obviously super crazy stand-up performances from a lot of their players. I think every single one of them would be in the running for a most improved player thing. I think all 5 of them probably would be. I'd probably give it to Shochi of all of them. But I think for Perry specifically, the improvements that I saw from him went from him stepping into a Dignitas roster where he's the only new player. He's around so many veterans that are leading him around the Rift. I credit a lot of that to JJ, by the way. I think JJ's really, really good, and I think he's probably the most important person in Perry's career trajectory, actually. And I think JJ did that for him. I think he also did that for Will, who's not in the league right now. But if Will comes back, that we'll have this conversation again. But for Perry to go from being led around as this kind of wild dog player that would be unleashed by JJ and by the rest of Dignitas and tear up the Rift in that way, going from that to being the, by all accounts, captain of Cincinnati Fear. He was the leading force on this team. He was the person holding everything together, and he ended up being the leader of this roster, all while elevating his level of play, playing new champions. Because you got to remember, just a couple years ago, he's a Kayn one trick. He's the only champion he played, and Kayn's not even playing League of Legends. That's an entirely different game. So the fact that he's doing super, super well in real champs now, and leading the team, he's learned so much from this split, and you can hear it in a lot of his interviews as well. That I think is it ties back to the Cincinnati Fear being my favorite story of this entire split. I think that also just boils down to Perry specifically, and I think he's got a very bright future ahead of him if he's going to stay in the league like this.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Fair enough. Love Perry. That guy's so cool.
By the way,
MVP.
did you guys know that Perry has his own IMDb page? And he
Really?
also
Really?
yeah,
Wait, I
oh
wanna
my
look this up.
goodness.
Where can we
so
find
you
this
can find
information,
all this
Andrea?
information on lcsprofiles.com. You can go there,
Whoa!
look for Perry, and read all about this and his participation in multiple student films. He recently told Delphi that if he hadn't been a programmer, he will still be acting. So that's pretty cool to know, right?
That
You
is
can
very
go to
cool.
Yes.
lcsprofiles.com. Thank you. Now that we
Wow. Look at that.
lcsprofiles.com. That is lcsprofiles.com.
no,
Speaking
Perry
of
is like he's a really really interesting player, and like he works really hard on his improvement too, right? Like
Mhm.
I don't know if you have
and
seen that
streaks.
spreadsheet he keeps of his games and all the
Yeah,
things he
exactly.
does. Yeah, I was really, been really happy to see him progress like that. Um, okay, well, I guess that's it about the NACL spring and the NACLQ. So basically, we're going to go and talk a little bit about the upcoming promotion tournament and why it's so exciting. So, for those who don't know, the NACL was composed of 16 teams. Six of those teams were professional teams, and the bottom four of those teams are going to be fighting for their lives starting this Monday. So, yeah, this is a very high stakes tournament because these four teams need to win in order to remain in the NACL for summer. And, well, we have some really interesting matchups. And I would like us to try to hype up these matchups as much as possible. We are going to start talking about AoE versus Supernova. Who wants to sell me on this matchup being exciting?
Aren't you an AoE fan? Shouldn't you be doing this?
um,
Ooh. Yeah,
Wow.
give Andrea the hardest sell. That's a good
yeah,
That's
this
idea.
not
is
true.
absolutely the hardest sell. I
Really? You
figured.
don't think
No,
this is
no,
the
no,
hardest
no.
sell?
This is not the hardest sell.
Oh
I'm
well.
gonna tell
Okay.
you why.
Wait, that's a hot take. I'm kind of interested to hear
Yeah,
about
I'm
I
that
think-
when we
interested
get
too.
there.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
interested.
No, this is definitely not the hardest sell. I'm gonna tell you why. So, AoE Gold, they played pretty well throughout the entire split long. They ended, low enough to where they have to play in this tournament, but they did make it pretty far in the lower bracket of NACL playoffs, and I think a lot of that was because of Winnie just playing very, very well. I think he is one of the junglers that I was, not surprised to see do well of the amateur provisional team batch for this split. I think Winnie's very well suited for a long style tournament like this where you're playing against a variety of different opponents. I think his consistency is really good. However, the top laner that they were running with, Gamsu, no longer on the roster. They
Oh
subbed him
my!
out. They subbed him out for Quacker. I don't know if they've announced that at all, but it's like 2 days
Summer
away.
leaks,
We leaked it on Salty Runback already.
Okay.
It's
It's been leaked.
fine.
It's so
It's
good.
literally 2 days away, so people are gonna find out.
It's on the
But
Lawless website
Yes,
too.
Quacker
Oh,
is
is it?
backer.
Okay.
I mean,
Oh, okay.
Quacker
Well,
is
great.
listed.
Well,
It's
good.
not like he's listed as a starter, but he's listed there. So like, it's
Yeah.
an interesting fact.
Well-
Should we go over the rosters real quick, or
Well, that's the only change. But we could go over the whole thing if you want. If people don't know, AoE Gold
Mhm.
is now Quacker in the top lane. Winnie, Darkwings, Lynx, and Skytech. A lot of collegiate players on this
Supernova
roster.
is
And then-
Dragoon, Kisno, Onat, Azog, and Chickies.
Mhm.
Yeah, they
And-
did. They were fourth.
yeah.
They were the fourth qualifier, like fourth place for
Yes.
going
Just
into the
barely.
tournament.
Just
Barely,
barely.
at the
yeah.
skin of their teeth.
Oh,
my
yeah, the
goodness.
fourth was so contested. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
between them and Native Gaming.
Yep. And yeah, it was a really, really tight race, but they did make it in. And a lot of people, myself included, think that they're probably not gonna win a series. Perhaps not a game either. But
Oh my.
the reason I'm
Yikes.
excited about
So this is
AoE
not the
Gold-
hardest sell, by the way.
No, it's
Not
not,
harder than
because-
gold.
because Quacker versus Dragoon is a sick matchup. I
I
can't wait
mean,
for that one.
okay, all
Okay.
right.
Okay.
I'll believe it.
I think
Yeah.
people should be very excited about that one. I think people should also be very excited about Onat versus Darkwings. I think both of those players have a very like similar. I'd probably put them pretty similar on like a power ranking. If you were to do like a 20 team power ranking with the qualifier teams included, those two would be pretty close for me. And the other reason that Onat is interesting is because he's not a mid laner that just plays perma scale all the time, Azir, Aurelion Sol, Veigar. The other three mid laners from qualifiers do that. So Onat's going to be interesting to watch as opposed to the other three. So that's
Um,
good.
That's fair. That is,
my-
that's valid.
to my OQ casting friends. Um,
Delphi,
so
you
hot-
were casting LQ too.
Oh,
Yeah,
caster.
it's true, you
Yep. We use that term very
Caster
loosely,
Delphi.
don't we? So, Hawk, I have a question for you.
Okay.
You said Supernova is a team that might not even take a game. Do you think if they still had Hyper in the jungle position, do you think
Yes.
that would change?
Yes.
Yeah.
If they had
was
Hyper, they wouldn't be 4th seed. They'd probably
I
be.
Do you think that? Yep.
They'd probably at least be 3, maybe 2.
I don't know if
they-
they'd be that high, but they would be better at least.
For those
Yeah,
who
I
didn't
agree.
know, Hyper, he was the former Supernova jungle, and then he went to NACL to play for FlyQuest family, who is also in this
also-
tournament.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, FlyFam's also here. No, Hyper definitely. Like, I'm a big Kisno fan. For anyone that doesn't know Kisno, very, very new jungler on the scene. Has only been playing really this split. And has been performing, I mean, for all intents and purposes, very well. The problem is really big shoes to fill in Hyper, and I definitely think that Supernova would be a lot stronger if they had Hyper. I honestly don't agree that I don't think they necessarily would have been better than Team Fish Taco or Tony Top, but it would have at least been more competitive. It would have been a conversation. Whereas, unfortunately, right now, Supernova, they are a pretty clear 4th seed, but as Smacks did rightfully highlight, like, this team is still actually really exciting. They have some really interesting players on their roster. And, she highlighted the solo lanes, but I also, the bottom lane matchup, Azog and Chookies against Lynx and Skytech, also, I don't know how close it'll be, but I think it'll be pretty explosive because they're two duos that are really not afraid of playing lane really aggressively. So, I don't know.
I know how close it'll be.
How close
It won't-
is it?
It won't be.
It won't
No.
be. It won't be. But it'll be
Yeah,
explosive.
well.
It'll be explosive, though.
I hope it is explosive at least, yeah. I
Yeah,
hope Supernova
explosive.
have fun.
Explosive is what we want.
Like Azog and Chookies, they won't like just go down 50 CS.
Mhm.
They'll go down 010 and 50 CS. Like,
Okay,
like,
I respect it. I respect it.
It's respectable for
It's
sure.
not a
I
good
think.
thing.
No, we respect it.
no, but because they'll die trying, Summer. Come on, like that's what it's all
That's the
about.
energy we want in
That's-
here. Look,
That's
I'm a
not what
CLG
bot lane
fan.
is about.
I respect it.
Whatever. You're right. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, AoE Gold's gonna win that series.
I
What's the
promise
next
I
one
did
you wanna
not mean
talk
for
about?
that to be flame. That was meant to be
No,
in good
no.
faith.
It's great. I love it. Okay, so who wants to sell us now on MU versus not CLG Fate, CLG
Last
Fate, rest in pieces, but the Last Dance.
Wait, before we do this, I have to
Okay.
I feel like I should run down like what basically CLG Faith is kind of just like no CLG kind of not a thing anymore. CLG Faith is just
Rest in
basically
peace.
a
It's just
team.
rest in
Like
peace.
it's just like kind of there. And it's Bejani, NXI, Messages, Aaron, and Sketch Streams. So they're going into the team the tournament as a team called Last Dance. They're gonna have a great time. I really do believe that. I think
My God,
they will have
gotta
a
be it. They're gonna have a great time. That's it.
That's true.
I'm sorry, Brady Sketch, my goat.
They,
Good luck.
They named themselves the Last Dance, okay? A team that thinks that they're going to qualify out of this tournament will not call
Oh my
themselves the
God.
Last
That's
Dance.
fair enough.
That is pretty fact.
Right?
Look,
We can agree on this?
I agree. It's looking pretty doomed for the Last Dance. However, I'm willing to drive the sell on this for two reasons. One, I am willing to say I don't think they're the worst provisional team in this tournament. And two,
Whoa!
I agree with that.
What?
I think Team Liquid First is worse.
Absolutely.
Especially, we talked about this on the Salt Mine the other day, the other podcast with Gordo and Yarko and TDS. You should check that out. But Grapes and I talked about it with them. Like, I think especially when you look at the matchups, right? Team Liquid First has a really, really strong top side, but the NACLQ teams also actually have really, really strong top sides. Whereas their bottom lane is sort of the weaker end of the map and might be more exploitable. But with the sell I'm gonna go for on the Last Dance here is that Message is the fucking goat. Okay, like this guy is actually so good. Was in my opinion the best player on Native Gaming, and on a team with a lot of great players, and also in a matchup against a bit of a volatile Maryville. I think they are probably the underdogs, despite being the provisional team, but I actually would not be surprised if this team was a lot more competitive with Messages coming in and potentially really revitalizing them. I don't know. Like they've got a great mid jungle now. I think their bot lane is decent as well. Bajani maybe isn't the best, but like it's not doomed yet. I think there's a way.
It's not doomed yet. That's the best sell. Let's go.
I brought out Victor. I don't know if you noticed, Hawk, but I brought out Victor just so he could hear what you just said.
Oh my god.
I woke him up from his nap just so he could listen. Victor? Victor, what are your thoughts?
She's talking about her cat, Victor.
Is,
Oh, yeah,
is the
my
cat
cat,
gonna
Victor.
talk? Yeah.
No, he's still
Thank
sleeping.
you, Delphi. No, I don't think it's doomed for the Last Dance. For sure they have some chances. Yeah.
I think they have a chance. I think Maryville can be kind of streaky, and it feels
They
like they're
were
a
a
bit
bit streaky.
they're a bit volatile. So I think
Yeah.
I think they have a shot.
Like I think Maryville will beat the Last Dance, but I think the Last Dance actually will be more
Yeah.
competitive in the tournament as a whole than people are
Mm.
maybe giving them credit for. Whether or not they end up qualifying back, I think could go either way on that. But I actually think they could be a good competition for teams like Tony Top and Team Fish Taco.
Hawk,
Okay.
I admire your enthusiasm for CLG Faith, or what once was. Where would that, like, I heard you give your like team power rankings on a different podcast, and I want you to lay them out for me real quick again.
All
So
right.
you put this team 6th, right?
I did. I put them 6th. So I have at the top AoE, then FlyFam 2nd, and then I've got Maryville, Tony Top, and Team Fish Taco 3, 4, 5. Then I got Last Dance, TL first, Supernova at the bottom.
Okay, I thought that's what it was. So Team Liquid First, the team that has Surdy on it, is in 7th.
But so hear
Look,
me out
Surdy's
though.
great.
Surdy is great.
We all agree Surdy's great.
Surdy is either the best or the second best player in this tournament, right? Like it's Surdy and Winnie, I think, that are like the best.
Ooh, okay.
But I think that the other top laners looking at NACLQ are also really, really good. And like Dragoon, Niles, Tony Top, and
Alorem.
Alorum, thank you. Like they're all very, very good top laners, very experienced top laners, and I think it's gonna be harder for Team Liquid First to actually exploit that side of the map in the way that they want to. And I've got to be honest, I think that their mid and bot carries are not the best. So I could see that being a weakness that is exploited in this tournament.
Let's talk about TLF versus Taco then. So the
This
TLF
is the hardest
roster.
sell.
This
How is this the hardest sell? The TLF roster is 30 CD Aspect, LJX, and Robex versus
Oh, Team Fish Taco is Alorem, Dardak, Comp 9.
no, it's
no,
it's Robbie
it's
Bob,
Robbie
not
Bob.
Oh, it's
Comp9.
Robbie Bob
Robbie
now?
Bob, Red,
then-
and Deption.
It's,
Oh, yeah,
it's,
right.
It's UST with Alorum playing and Red at ADC. That's like the
Yeah.
team. Like
This is easily the hardest sell on which match you should watch. this series, unfortunately, this is the one that I'm on, by the way, spoilers.
Oh,
This series,
leaks.
yeah,
Leak.
leak.
Are you about
It's
to
in 2
talk
days.
down to your own series? Like, is
Yes.
that what's gonna
No
happen?
way, no way.
When you tune in on Tuesday, I'm gonna tell you why this series is gonna be so fun.
Oh,
But right now, I'm here to tell you that series is a skip. That series is gonna be, like 42 minutes, 3 games in a row of just the least action you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
Because both of these bottom lane pairs don't know what they're doing in the lane at all. They're both like running on autopilot recently. Now they could improve. I don't want to say that they can't like get better, but that's just from what we've seen recently. Their most recent performances, both of these bottom lanes looked super autopilot. They like just died super randomly. They weren't coordinated in the 2v2. They didn't get anything done in the lanes. They were picking aggressive lanes from time to time, but they didn't do a whole lot to actually
Oh,
exploit
do
the
we know
matchup very well.
Wait, is it LJX for sure
Yeah,
in the tournament?
LJX is playing.
Okay.
Um, and I also think that the mid lane matchup is not really going to have too much going on either. Aspect has always been a player that is best on like supportive champions that are very skirmish based, and I think that's why he has had a pretty nice time. I think that's why they paired him with a jungler like City Witty. It made a lot of sense. They
City
didn't end up
Witty, my goats.
coordinating super well throughout the split, I think is fair to say.
can I?
But oh, what are you gonna say?
Tom Shu says in the chat that he thought we were supposed to be hyping up these matches.
That's true. I'm getting there.
I
Okay.
have my okay. So like the thing is like this team to this matchup to me was the easiest sell to do. So like
Really?
and I'm gonna give you the easiest sell
She's
that
a
I
Surdy
had.
fan.
No, I'm gonna give you the easiest sell that I had, and it's come watch Fallen NA Jungle Stars Bad Boy Dardog and see if he can still 1v9 League of Legends in 2023. Either you come because you like him and you want him to do it, or you come because you hate him and you want to see him fail because he's washed. So it's so
Oh,
easy. Just come watch
no.
Dardog play.
Wow.
I will
So
say,
I was getting to
How
him.
much Dardock's family get owned by City Witty?
I will say,
Exactly.
Dardock has been really good in NACLQ. Like, I don't know. I don't
He
know.
has been. He
Like,
has
has
even if
been
you're a
doing well.
Dardock hater, like, this guy's a way too good, at least for, like, tier 3 League of Legends.
Okay,
like,
you can go keep
no
going
way.
somewhere. I know. I think you were going there. But like, I just thought that was the easiest sell to do.
I-
It's like for people who don't watch. So like, it's like just come watch Dardog.
I'm glad you brought up Dardock because he and Alorum are just playing like for fun champs right now.
Mm.
They are just picking like ultimate bravery, spin the wheel, pick whatever champion you want, and just see if they can win with it. Because nothing's gonna happen in the bottom lane, and mid is just gonna play
Pick
as
Robbie
Azir
Bob
and
Victor, like, there you
yeah,
go.
or Victor, yeah, and like maybe win at 35 minutes. So this team and TikTok Tony Top, we'll get to them in a sec, are only late game. Both of these teams are begging you to not do a single thing in the first 15 minutes. And if you do, they just lose immediately. And if you don't do anything against them for 15 minutes, then their mid laner is just going to
Mhm.
do the scaling mage thing. We've seen this at least like 4 series super recently from both of these teams. And I like maybe that's going to be refreshing for people who haven't watched a lot of qualifiers, but I know exactly what to expect and I've seen it a billion times from both of these teams, so I'm a little bit sick of it. So maybe that
I
just
was
makes
on your
me
stream, so I
Yeah.
know.
maybe that just makes me a little bit cynical. But I will say, I think Team Liquid First is going to easily win against Team Fish
Wow.
Taco. That team has Surdy on it, and Surdy's not going to lose to that shit.
Oh,
And
I
um,
okay.
I also think that FlyFam is going to easily win
Oh my
against
goodness.
Team Tony Top because
So,
that team has Hyper on it, and Hyper's not going to
Hyper
lose to that
is
shit.
very good.
I
I
will say,
mean,
I agree with that. I think FlyFam is probably a lot better than like their record would show. Where like if you're a casual NACL viewer over the split, like the
mhm,
FlyFam
yeah, no,
at the end of the
record.
split is a lot better than the FlyFam that played for like most of the split. So
Yeah.
I think this team, I think AoE and FlyFam will pretty easily defend their spots. I think TL First and The Last Dance are maybe the bubble teams, but I think this is the most hype round one matchup. Despite that, though,
Yeah.
Tony Top
Okay.
has gone on record to say that he will gap Lunacia in the top lane, and I think all
Pretty funny.
of Team Tony
That is
Top is going to go
hilarious.
out of their way to make this happen. Like, it's coming. A brawl on the top side of the map. Wallflower and Tony Top
need
against
it. I need
Lunacia
it.
and Hyper. Yeah, like, throw in a little Snow too and a little a sword up there as well. Like, give it a 3v3. Maybe mid laners come up. Like, it's gonna be a bloodbath,
This is
and
a
I'm really here
top-focused
for it.
matchup, I think.
Yeah,
think
this matchup
as
is
far as-
definitely
Top
the
side.
most
Yeah.
the most exciting one, I think, too.
Yeah.
Like,
As far as
so
like parity,
It is, yeah.
it's the most exciting, and it
for
should be bloody too.
the rosters are for Team Tony Top, formerly TikTok Tony Top.
Rest in
It's
peace,
Tony Top in the top lane.
Formerly Duyin
Wallflower.
Tony Top.
Wallflower, formerly iconic in jungle. Satsi in the mid lane. Levitate in the bot lane. Snow 2 as support.
Andrea, I think you got it wrong. I think it's Tony Top in top, Tony Top in jungle, Tony Top in mid.
It's all Tony Top
easy,
all the way
and
down
Tony
the
Top
That's
roster.
true. It is
Or
called
Tony
Team Tony
support.
Top.
But
So you might be right. And then
I
FlyFam,
wanna,
we have Lunacia, Hyper, Blaze, Instinct, and Sword. Yes?
Yes.
yeah. I want to keep selling this match though, because I'm so hyped about this one. I agree. Like, I think FlyFam is definitely favorite, but I think this is going to be such a fun match to watch. I think it's going to be the most competitive and probably very bloody. And also, like, the thing is, Tony Top is the epitome of Team Tony Top is the epitome of like the amateur team. This is
Yep.
really like one of those 5 friends teams. They came together, played the open qualifier. Like, there are some videos out there of their comms. Like, they're fucking ridiculous. Like, they say
Don't
some
listen
kind of
to them.
heinous stuff in their
Don't
comms. I don't know.
listen.
I don't know if you all have seen that. I probably
Oh,
shouldn't
look, Snow's
repeat
in the
it. But
chat.
Hi, Snow too.
Oh,
Hello.
there's Snow.
Hi, best
Oh,
friend.
by the way, I have a message for Snow. I'm not a hater. I'm here. Like,
I'm
I
not
want
a
to believe. Make me believe, okay?
Here's a good plug, by the way. If you're wondering, what do you mean chat? Watch the episodes live on twitch.tv/NAmen Central.
You can also be a part of the episode. If
You can
you
also
make a funny
talk
comment,
to
we will read it
You
live.
can talk to celebrity support for Team Tony Top.
Yeah.
Lol
See,
Snow
look, I-
2. My goats.
Okay, so he's
I
something.
did your
Oh,
plug
and
for you.
messages
I'm providing
too?
some value, right?
Thank you, Summer. So this is the myself for this is the battle of the Jax OTPs in the top lane. So the only thing I knew about Lunacia before he started in ACL was that he played a lot of Jax, and guys, that Tony is just the Jax player.
I'm
Also,
sorry, I need to interject. I'm amazed you knew anything about Lunacia before he started playing.
I didn't know
ACL.
anybody
Like,
knew
I
anything about Lunacia.
don't know anything about Lunacia.
I saw him in solo queue a lot, so I
Oh, fair enough.
yeah. Tony Top, by the way, still holds rank 1 right now. He's no longer
he does.
2
You know what's
KLP, but he did reach 2 KLP. So
You know
I
what's
mean, that
crazy?
man is on a mission. Like, he
About-
climbed up from being teamless to this tournament. So I don't know. I think he wants to win.
You know what's crazy about Tony Top? I was watching Tenacity play Cassante against him on Tenacity's stream. He killed him level 1, 2, and 3. Like, legit, he had 3 kills by level 4 or something ridiculous. It's okay. He's getting the intout before the tournament.
Yeah, I think so. Both those series are on Tuesday. I'm gonna beg our producers to just only look at top lane the entire time because I'm
Like,
right
honestly,
there with you.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I think Sturdy versus Alorum and then Tony versus Lunacia is like the marquee matchup. People are gonna get sick of watching top lane after.
Wait, we
that
didn't
day
talk
for
about Surdy
sure.
versus Alarian, but that's so funny.
Yeah.
Like, it's like
So-
literally. Yeah.
This is a spoiler. I'm just gonna say it because it's cool. On Tuesday we're gonna talk about this as well, so you're getting a spoiler for Tuesday's stream. Surdy versus Alorum, the last time they played against each other was in 2021.
Oh my
in Proving
goodness.
Grounds.
EGP era.
Surdy was on EGP and Alorum was on Zeus Gaming.
Zeus
Yep.
era. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's the last time that the two of them were in the same like tournament together. this is 2 years ago, and now
Wow,
we're
wow, wow,
we're
wow.
back. They're playing against each other again, and yeah, I think that's going to be really interesting. I think there is that angle, right, where some people are going to be like, oh well, Alorum, like he's always been known as like a stable top laner. Like if anyone is going to stop Surdy's thing, then it's going to be Alorum. I think that's wrong. I think Surdy's going to
Oh,
gap in really
wow.
hard.
Oh,
However,
Wow.
however, I do think that that top lane matchup is still going to be fun because of the people behind it. And if you're gonna, hate watch for TFT and try to see Dardoch lose, then more power to you. I'm happy to provide that service.
Wow. Come on, don't people want to watch don't people like Robbie Bob? Don't they want to see him do well? Like
Yeah.
why does that have to be hate watching for Dardoch,
I
Oh,
mean,
Like
That's
you,
just what Andrea said. I'm just going by what.
I'm just telling how you sell it to someone who never in his life watched any
Yeah, yeah,
NACLQ
that's
and
fair.
barely
That's
even
fair.
watch an ACL. So like, what I'm gonna tell them is that
Yeah, no,
they
that's
know Dardoch for sure.
that's
That
valid.
one,
Oh yeah, Dardoch, by the way, is still the record holder for longest Leaguepedia page.
Oh my goodness, I
is
didn't
he
know that.
really?
Wow,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
Wait, I'm looking it up now.
you have to scroll to see all the teams he's been
Yeah,
on.
yeah, 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 yeah. Of course.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I
What is
know. And
this?
he's confirmed to be leaving UST in the summer, so maybe another one's going to be added.
Oh,
He's just collecting badges at this point. I
Yeah,
think.
it
Just
is.
it's a long page.
Oh my
I don't
god,
think
wait,
anyone's
it is
ever
like
gonna.
a little excessive. What
I
the
told you.
hell? Like
Dude, why
I
is it so long?
I knew it would be long, but this is kind of crazy.
I you have to scroll. It doesn't fit on a whole screen. I told you.
There's okay, I need people to understand this. Over the course of a single calendar year, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 9 entries from the Team Liquid organization over the course of a calendar year. Bouncing around from a sub on their LCS roster, a starter on the LCS roster, and their academy team. There are 9
But
separate
Wow.
entries.
it
Yeah.
was an era. Yeah, for sure it was. It was a time.
That was the promotion relegation era of Team Liquid, where
Yes,
they
it
like
was.
signed double lift and avoided getting relegated, right?
It
Yes,
was,
it was.
yes. Oh my god.
Iconic.
Well,
Iconic.
anyway,
These my
I'm
goats.
sorry. I'm sorry to give the pessimistic take a little bit there. I'm obviously going to be watching all the games. I think everyone should as well. The stakes of an amateur team like potentially getting booted out of NACL, I think are really high. I think even higher than a lot of people are really giving it credit for. Um, this might be a little bit too doomer to say, but like think about if you're Team Liquid and you just like spent a bunch of money on a third team and then that team gets relegated. That team like is not gonna exist anymore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna stick
Yeah,
know?
no
around.
way.
Like that's a little doomer to say, but like it's just true, right? So I think for specifically FlyFam and Team Liquid first, there are even more stakes than would normally be there because there is that added element to it, but also just like there are some really big collegiate programs that are participating in this. Like Maryville has always been the collegiate team that is able to compete at this level, and promoting here, I think would really just stamp that in history as just like absolute fact. And I think a lot of people are expecting that to actually happen. They're playing against the lowest seed team from NACL right off the bat. I think a lot of teams are really fearing what Maryville's going to come to the table with, but it's not just them, right? Team Fish Taco, otherwise known as Team Fish Thomas, has like all of these collegiate players on it as well, and you something you also have to consider. I'm pretty positive that if you're in, actually, no, I don't want to make that claim. I don't know if that's true, but regardless, like that's almost another collegiate program too. Like that would be a really big statement as well. And I don't know. There's a lot that can happen in this event. It's all like one entire week long, so like there's going to be a ton of games to watch all in a row. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I hope that everyone at least tunes in for part of it. It's going to be an
And
incredible event.
Summer, where is that
Yeah.
gonna be streamed?
on twitch.tv/Challengers League starting on Monday and all the way Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and
Oh
Sunday.
my.
Every
Yeah.
single
A
day.
whole tournament in a week.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be great. I'm going to be there. I already leaked it. So I'm going to be on the
Oh.
stream on Tuesday. I'll be watching all the other days also. And I hope everyone else does too. It's going to be great.
I'll be there no matter what.
I will be there
Same.
no matter what.
Mhm.
Well, Delphi, did you want to do your 1 minute of
Oh,
talking?
right.
Yep.
Okay, guys, who should I do my 1 minute sim segment over?
You asking me this?
That's a great question. I would love to hear you simp over your favorite Twitter player, Fudge.
All right, so
Oh no.
Fudge. I'm legit looking at his Player of the Week statue right now. He's making eye contact
wow.
with me. He's giving me like that knuckle sandwich. Like it's kind of scary. But listen, Fudge, he is the biggest bully on Twitter.com. First of all, the biggest bully on Twitter.com. He has never once in his life been nice to me. I went to LCS. I made a sign for him. He told me my sign was stupid and shitty, and the joke sucked. Okay,
Oh my
and then
God.
I
Oh my
said.
God.
I introduced myself to him. He said, why do you say your name like that? Right? And then, okay, he he streamed. No, first of all, he cooked me. I said, Fudge won my heart. He said, yikes. And then he started streaming. And then I went into his stream, got banned. Okay. And then I had to beg one of his mods that I'm friends with to unban me. And then on top of that, my friend in chat said, is that Delfino on your friends list? And he said no and unfriended me. Okay? So Fudge, we are not on good terms right now. We are beefing. I'm just kidding. He's really nice. He's very when he's not being like okay, it's a joke. First of all, he's not actually mean to me. When he's not being jokingly horrible to me, he's actually very
Jokingly?
sweet. Quote unquote jokingly. When he's not doing that, he's actually very sweet. And he was really really nice. Besides the fact that he cooked me when we met at LCS. He took a
Damn.
picture
Besides
and
that?
he's really nice to talk to. And he's very cute. He's like he's another one of my he's my Pookie Bear. He's like my baby girl, you know, like
This sounds like you're trying to like justify like a terrible ex. Like you're like, I swear he's really great, like most of the time, you know, like
no, he's very nice. He's very sweet. I definitely do. He's definitely a player I'm going to be supporting at MSI. You guys should all watch MSI, watch Cloud9, watch My Hero Fudge. If I send this clip to him, he's going to be like, "You're so cringe." So,
Wow.
you know.
Thank you,
Elaine,
Delphi.
so there's a meme that says, "Girl, you're always saying I can fix him. You gotta." She got 10 girls trying to fix him. Y'all a whole construction crew. You look like Bob the Builder. She's saying that's how I sound about Fudge right now. So.
Yeah, we were joking about the therapy session earlier, but I think the joke got a little bit.
wow.
Got a little too real.
Got a
Anyway,
little too real here.
I do love Fudge. He's you definitely should support him. He's a very nice guy.
Wow.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Well simped.
Thank
well
you.
said.
Thank you.
Yeah, well simped.
Okay, well, we are getting to the end of the podcast, so we usually do a section of shout outs. So, Delphi, is there anyone you want to shout out that is not Fudge?
Shout out to Tenacity for regularly streaming. You're my goat. I also shout out to Bree. She's currently in my Twitter bio, and we also have matching Discord profiles. So shout out to them, and also shout out to all the players who have worked really, really hard to get to the promotion relegation tournament. And I hope there are very good games because I'm very excited to watch. Oh, and shout out Vulcan, my number 3 op. He's number 3 on the op list. His birthday's in 5 days. He's turning 85 years old. Please wish him a happy birthday on April 20th.
Okay. Summer, is there anyone or anything you want to shout out?
Yes. I have 2 people I would like to shout out. I have 1 event that I would like to shout out. I kind of already did it, but please go tune in to Challengers League this next week. All next week, where you can watch the promotion relegation tournament. It's going to be a great time. The two people that I would like to shout out are Tom and Sammy from Love Island UK season 9, the couple that should have won the season but did not. They were robbed. They got third place because the country of Great Britain hates hot people, hates interesting people, and only loves the boring ass couples. And I just want to say, if I was in the UK, if I was a UK resident, first of all, oh my God, that would suck. Second of all, I would have voted for you, Tom and Sammy. You got robbed. I'm hoping that you live a long and happy life and you don't hold a lot of value in losing because you should have won.
Wow. That's
So-
deep.
Love that for you.
I mean, my shout outs are a lot more boring. Like, shout out to all the, okay, I actually, here you go. Shout out to all the players, especially the ones playing in this tournament that at one point or another I've hated on you and your team. Now is your chance to prove me wrong, okay? Prove that I'm just a hater. Like, I'm here for it. All right. So shout out to those I've hated on.
That's a great one. Okay, not just because Hawk is here, but actually, this is a shout out I haven't had the chance to do here. But shout out to the Salty Runback Pod. I actually love that podcast so much. It's one of my favorite things to listen to. Like, I just think it's one of the most creative and most fun podcasts that are out there. And I'm a big fan of that podcast. So if you want to know more about the NACLQ and NACL in general, go check out Salty Runback. It's a really good time.
We
Uh,
like to have fun. Thanks for the shout out. That's really nice.
no problem.
Vouch.
Well, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you tune in to watch the NACL promotion tournament starting on Monday, and we'll see you on the next episode of NAmen. Bye.